Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, it had to be Test cricket. On day one, that concludes now. It was a bit towards Australia's side, but Pakistan did pretty well in the last two sessions. I think we've started the Test match at the Optus Stadium. Australian captain Pat Cummins won the toss and opted to bat first, and then Pakistan had trouble up front. I'll be very honest, apart from Khurram Shahzad, I didn't find anyone who was categorically in the Test mindset or mode when you talk about our fast bowling. Although I think Salman Ali Agha bowled well, unlucky with that stumping chance going down and a catch as well. But at stumps, if you look at Australia's dominance, you know, I was listening to Pat Cummins at the close of play, and he said that he'd love another 100 or 150 runs. So, you know, that Australian mindset to come out and bat only once seems to be something that they're planning to do. But David Warner, once again, absolutely spot on. A couple of chances that were very difficult, could have, had they been taken, they would have been different. But 160 plus runs in his final Test match, I think, in this first innings, he's been absolutely superb. The plan was simple for Australia to plan and attack, and that's what they did. And I think nothing to take away from them, but our bowling, especially Shaheen Shah Afridi, for me, was a touch disappointing. I just couldn't see that Test mentality in there as well. Wavered down the leg side, outside off stump. That discipline that was required came very late, almost towards his second, third spell. And then, of course, I think our pace, average pace, 130, is something that will not be troubling many batters around as well. But like I said, there are a lot of positives. Shan Masood's captaincy, a couple of wickets did come because of those certain field placements. And then again, like I said, Khurram Shahzad, Salman Ali Agha were trying to bowl as disciplined as they could. Although Amir Jamal took 2 wickets, one for Fahim Ashraf, one for Khurram, and one for Shaheen Shah Afridi. But then again, like I said, that hunger, that stride to go after the Australian batting just wasn't there. And I understand that a lot of people are saying it's a batter's paradise, but not really. You're going to see that different when Pakistan come out to bat. Of course, we then move on to the Pakistan Super League, where drafting process has been completed. We finally have all the 6 squads along with the supplementary picks as well. We'll be discussing them in detail, and finally having gentlemen pick their teams as well for the PSL. I think that is something that we need to stamp our authority as early as possible. So we'll discuss all the squads and a lot of these players who are making headlines now as well. That being said, time now to introduce the guests. First of all, in studios, we've been joined by cricket expert and analyst Mr. Rizwan Haider. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed.
We've also been joined by a fellow anchor at Pakistan Television, a level 2 coach when it comes to cricket. He's played under 19 for UAE, and he's been in managerial positions at many positions. So a lot of insight today as far as the PSL is concerned. Sayyid Mohammad Awais. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. How are you, Ahmed bhai?
I'm very well. Thank you for joining us, sir. I know you're a busy man, but always great you take out time for us. We've also been joined by cricket expert and analyst and also sports expert as well, Mr. Malik Usman. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm doing well.
And we've also been joined by senior sports journalist Sayyid Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well. So Haider bhai, first of all, I think let's just start the proceedings with you. Summarize day one for us. We're going to be talking all about that, what you think of that as well. But right before that, I want to take a look at this report so all of us can once again know what has been happening on day one. Let's take a look at the highlights and then we come back.
Won the toss and opted to bat first in the series opening test against Pakistan. Amir Jamal and Khurram Shahzad made their debut for Pakistan under new captain Shan Masood. Australia made just one change from their last test against England in July, with spinner Nathan Lyon fit again and back in the side. Australia were 346 for 5 at the stumps of day one. David Warner led the charge with an epic 164 runs. Usman Khwaja made 41 and Travis Head scored 40 runs. Amir Jamal bagged 2 wickets for Pakistan. Shaheen Shah Afridi, Fahim Ashraf and Khurram Shahzad picked 1 wicket each. At day 1 stumps, Mitchell Marsh and Alex Carey remained unbeaten on 15 and 14 runs. Pakistan have fought back a bit in the final session, but their fielding missed 3 chances.
Well, there you have it. The boys would be proud of themselves going into the last session. But Haider bhai, like I said, you got to sum up today's proceedings. What do you make of day one for Pakistan?
Pakistan did well in that manner that the bowlers, they have bowled not exactly what the pitch can provide some assistance to the bowlers, but still I can say that Amir Jamal or Khurram Shahzad, Shaheen Shah Afridi, they have bowled in the right areas, and they have got some wickets. But you must calculate that Australia is playing on their own surface, in own ground. So therefore, they are well aware how to play in the Perth in drop-in pitch. Drop-in pitch, the benefit of this pitch is that you can put anywhere, but the disadvantage of this pitch is that there is no patches, nothing for the bowlers. Mostly it is only for the batters, and all 5 days the pitch will be same. Today we have seen that the pitch is not responding like the old ground, Waka ground. The pitch was very quick, very fast, but today the pitch was average fast. And Pakistani bowlers, they have tried, and they have got some wickets, but it's still 346 runs. It's a big score, and tomorrow they can get more 100 runs. Then it will be a big score, because the bowling attack of the Australia bowling attack is very dangerous for the Pakistani batting, and some Pakistani batters, they are playing first time in Australia, so it will be difficult for them. But anyhow, I can say that Pakistan has done a little bit better than what we were expecting.
Well, like I said, the last couple of sessions, Pakistan would take them on a high note. Rizwan, how do you summarize day one's proceedings, and particularly the last couple of sessions, and taking, I think the wicket of Labuschagne and Smith was something that Pakistan needed to get early on.
Before we get into the day, I think I've always said this is going to be a cracker of a series if you're an Australian fan, because you've got no fear of losing. There's no chance Australia is going to lose this series. Pakistan hasn't even drawn a test match in Australia since 1996. 1996 was the last time we won a test match in Sydney. And after that, we haven't even, not won. We've lost consecutively. So 346, less than 350, getting 5 wickets. Had you given it to me at the start of the day, I would have taken it. Excellent bowling by the new youngsters. Because, end of the day, you've got Shaheen Afridi, and you have 2 debutants bowling in the very first test match, and then Fahim Ashraf is also more of a bowling all-rounder, but hasn't done much. So for me, the biggest disappointment, I'll take it as a success, but for me the biggest disappointment is Shaheen Shah Afridi. If you look at it, we keep comparing him to Wasim Akram.
Right. I understand that, particularly Australians are going to have more of a share in this as well, and they're going to probably enjoy it. But Usman, I look at it from a perspective where Pakistan tried their best to come back into the test match. The first session was completely horrible. They've tried their best with limited resources. How do you summarize day one?
I actually agree with my colleague that we were expecting a lot more from Australia to dominate this Pakistan side, because they don't have a bowling lineup that is going to send shivers in the hearts of this Australian batting lineup. But I think 346 for 5 in the beginning of the day, if anybody would have given to me as well, I would have taken it, and it was a good score in the end for the Australians. They have the advantage. Pakistanis are less favorable condition than the Australians, but I think if with the new ball and with the fresh legs tomorrow early morning, Pakistan can skittle out Australia for 400 or under 400 or so, I think the game can turn out to be even Stevens as far as first innings is concerned. But this batting pair, this is the last recognized batting pair, Carey and Marsh, I think Pakistan has a handsome chance of restricting Australia to 400, and after the first session how it went out, anything close to 400, Australia being skittled out, I think Pakistan would take it with both hands.
But Usman, we have categorically struggled getting through the tail as well in the past in Australia. And the quality that Pat Cummins and the rest carry, they can bat. Mitchell Stark, Nathan Lyon, Hazelwood, all of them, if I was to pick any one, I think on a good day they've got the ability to bat. So that is also those 70 to 80 runs that they can score combined is also another problem for us.
That is the major difference between Pakistani tail-enders and Australian tail-enders, or Australian tail-enders against the rest of the world. They know how to bat as well, and they play total cricket, just like Johan Cruyff brought total football in football, that everybody has to bat, everybody has to bowl. So they're batting, they can chip in with 60, 70, 80 runs, and in test match cricket 70, 80 runs is massive, and that is one of the reasons I said that if they can skittle them out for the next 70, 80 runs, that is the figure you're talking about. That is, I beg your pardon, that is the amount of runs they need to score to 400, and I think anything close to 400 Pakistan will take it, because the way the Australians were playing and the condition they were in, I think 500 was there for the taking.
Yes, Awais, how would you summarize day one's proceedings? And categorically, Khurram Shahzad, how did you find him in the test match?
So, there are two things. I was just listening to the colleagues. I mean, they said, I know that when you talk about Pakistan team, obviously Pakistan won't be that famous, like winning the series over here, because looking at the track record and the amount of cricket we have played in Australia, it has never suited Pakistan, any Asian condition visiting over there. But one thing, if you talk about the Pakistan team, you need to really understand that it's a new captain for you, Shan Masood. It's a new bowling attack for you. You don't have that experienced bowling attack which you're carrying from last many years for the Pakistan team. Khurram Shahzad, one thing what I loved about him was that he has played a lot of 4-day cricket, and he's known to bowl longer spells. And you saw today the way he was actually, when he came for the attack, he disturbed a lot your left-handers over here, especially Usman Khwaja. He disturbed him a lot over here. I know the ball is not being carried much to the wicketkeeper because there's no much help in the wicket for the fast bowlers. Still, because I mean, I've not, except Shaheen Afridi, and that also, I guess, only 5 to 6 balls I saw which were actually carried properly to the wicketkeeper. He was actually collecting it from the chest. Rather, every ball has been below the knee height too. I mean, so that means there's no much for the fast bowlers in this wicket. But the thing is that, Ahmed bhai, again, I'll tell you one thing, that if you guys have selected Shan Masood as a captain, unfortunately, I would say, Babar Azam just stepped out. He's a guy who has performed well in the practice match, but you need to give him a relaxed position over here. Get him to play all the 3 test matches. One test match, if it goes bad, it's not that he's a bad captain, it's a bad team performance over there. His captaincy was good, the body language was good, but it is that you need to give some time to these players.
Right.
The biggest problem about your fast bowling lineup was the short pitch deliveries. When you're bowling to the batsman like Warner, who has got a great hook and who plays a good pull shot, you have always been targeting on his offside, the shoulder height short pitch deliveries. But the short pitch deliveries have been wavered. I mean, it was not targeted to one point. So that's the point where Pakistan team, especially your fielding and a fast bowlers, really will have to work tomorrow, because it's just not a Marsh standing over there. Because what I see is that Marsh is going to play brutal cricket tomorrow. He will play the T20 kind of format tomorrow, because they have got a good target on the board. They know Pakistan do struggle when they're batting afterwards, so it's a good target for them. 400 would be a great one in the first innings.
Well, I think anything more than 400 is going to trouble. But Rizwan, you'd like to continue, and also the fact that I think I would really bank on Shan Masood in these conditions. I think he is that one individual that can step up amongst the runs.
I think he's shown his leadership skills today, first of all. We haven't seen that from Babar. Babar is a great player. We've always said he's a great player, but he lacks the aggressiveness in captaincy. He lacks the aggressive approach. He lacks the tactics that, you know, how you think a batsman out, how, the way Dhoni used to do it. We've never seen Babar do that. Shan showed that today with the dismissals of Warner when he had 2 fine legs, with the dismissal of Head when he had a short third man. But then again, the problem with Pakistan has always been the batting. The series is about how Pakistan bats and how Australia bowls. It's not going to be about how Australia bats, because we know they're going to get runs. The only way Pakistan is going to not lose a test match is if they bat well. And the problem is that every time Pakistan has gone there, people have scored 100. Saeed Anwar got 100, Babar Azam got 100 last time, Rizwan got a 90, Yunus Khan, Mohammad Yusuf. But they all play in different matches. You have to play as a team. You have to build partnerships. 2 or 3 people need to score in one innings if you're gonna you know battle against Australia. You can't have Shan Masood getting 100 in the first innings and Pakistan getting out for 250, and then Babar Azam getting 100 in the second innings and Pakistan again getting out for 230. So you have to play together as a team, not as individuals.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a combined effort, and the batters really need to step up, because we talked about the fact that before this test match, we understood that our bowling might not be up to the mark, but the batters really have got to step up, because if you can negotiate those amount of runs, then you can, that's the only way you can give your bowlers a chance in this test match as well. So, Sir Haider, I understand that, you know, I have not seen disciplined bowling apart from Khurram Shahzad today. I think Amir Jamal was struggling, his ball wasn't even carrying. Shaheen's pace is already down, we've talked about that, but he was very wayward. And you know, my argument is that this is an individual who just a day ago has been named as Pakistan's vice captain for Test cricket.
Yeah, actually, we have seen today that Amir Jamal and Khurram Shahzad, could bowl 140 plus, but they haven't bowled. Even Shaheen Shah Afridi and all the fast bowlers, all four fast bowlers, they haven't bowled any single delivery 140 plus. In Australia, Australian batting, if you are bowling against the Australian batting, you have to show your speed with the good length and line. This is very necessary. I think they were trying to get only the line and length, but they were not concentrating on the speed. It is very necessary in Australia. Fahim Ashraf, I have seen mostly he was bowling at 128, 129. It's not enough for the Australian conditions. In Australian conditions, you need some pacey delivery, some really fairy deliveries there. But Australian batting, they know. They knew that this Pakistan bowling attack is very new, inexperienced, two fast bowlers. They are just starting their career, so they were in aggressive mode, and they have done. But I would say that with new, inexperienced bowling attack, Shan Masood done very well. He has got the David Warner with his plan. That's a good sign of the captaincy of the Shan Masood, that he was not in panic when the batters they were getting the runs quickly, but he was in panic and he has set the field according to the bowling, and he has got 2 wickets, Stephen Smith wicket and David Warner wicket. I will give credit to Shan Masood's captaincy.
Well, I think all of us should applaud it, and even if I mention a couple of wickets, like I said, having the third man a bit closer, in fact not being on the edge of the boundary, and then also the positioning of another fine leg just to get Warner out. These 2 wickets, I think when you talk about them, Travis Head and Warner, they really could have made a difference in going through the test match as well. So I think you got to applaud the captaincy of Shan Masood, and just right now our loyal fan and a keen member of the bottom 3, as we were terming it since yesterday, Sabir Hussain, has also categorically highlighted the captaincy of Shan Masood. So Usman, first day at work for Shan Masood, let's take it like that. How do you rate him?
I think it was a dream day for him in all circumstances, whether it was a good day outing as a captain or not, because it's a dream to captain Pakistan, and to captain Pakistan in Test cricket in Australia. It would be a wow day for him, and he should be celebrating that. But he was simply outstanding as far as his captaincy was concerned, simply because he did not have the resources to skittle out this Australian side with the bowling lineup that they have, as Harsha Bhogle put it on his Twitter also, that it's been I don't remember when was the last time when I saw a Pakistani team playing without a genuine pacer. 120, 130, 135, these are medium pace bowling on these kind of conditions.
We're called military medium.
Right. So still utilizing, and with a part-time spinner, and still having getting his tactics right, and using those with the bounces with those pace, and getting out of Warner and getting out Travis Head in a manner he did. I think that was smart captaincy, and you need to be street smart most of the time when you are in Australia, and you have to do away with the typical methods that are being adopted in cricket. Usually you have to think smartly. One thing that with all due respect Babar Azam was missing was in-time captaincy, in-game captaincy as we say, and Shan Masood seems to be much more educated in that regard. He has more diverse experience also, and that may have played to his advantage, and he did really well. I think with the batting lineup Pakistan have, the team they have put out for the first test, I think anything close to 400, this batting lineup with 9 genuine batsmen, 2 are all-rounders, 7 are batsmen, I think they should score 400, give a tough time to the Australian bowling lineup with this batting lineup. I think Shan Masood has more surprises in store, certainly positive.
One particular thing that I'd really like to mention over here is the fact that I had highlighted that the run rate is going to be a matter of concern for Pakistan, and I think Australia did that brilliantly. They were playing with a run rate of more than 4 runs and over. They tend to do that. Sometimes they were even 5 to 6. But equally surprising, and to the commentators and to everybody, was Pakistan's over rate. They could not believe that the second new ball was taken and the amount of time it took for 80 overs to be completed. That was also remarkable. So I think that is a sign that things are going in the right direction. But that being said, now we take your focus to the Pakistan Super League, where the drafting process has been completed, and a lot of these teams are making headlines. Obviously the 6 squads are now in front of us, so we get to pick the teams as well. A lot of us have already done that on this platform, but a person with a lot of insights calling some of the shots as well, Saeed Mohammad Awais, what would you like to tell us about the drafting process?
Nothing. I mean, see, it's a great one thing initiative that at least you have got the 9th edition being played in Pakistan. And I remember when the Pakistan Super League first edition was being played, and Ahmed Bhai, even I was the one who said that whether will it continue, prolong themselves because it's not being played in Pakistan. slow and steady. You see that around 55, around I guess 25 countries, 400 plus 435 players have been participating in the Pakistan Super League. All the squads have been finalized. Looks a good, I would say, proper retentions for many teams, but it's a Pakistan Super League. Obviously, then you have got the T20 World Cup coming up. You'll have many eyes on the youngsters, but I was happy to see one thing. What the domestic structure actually produced was that many of the players who were never ever highlighted on the television, I mean, no one knew about them. They were highlighted and they are picked for the Pakistan Super League. That's a good thing over here. What I loved about the teams, I mean, the combination being made up over here. Your favorite, Ahmed Shahzad, unfortunately, he's not selected for the match because he was a strong contender to get selected over here. Haider Ali, one thing I was actually, even I wanted him to be dropped off from any other team because he needs to go back. He needs to rethink in the domestic structure what mistakes has been he doing, because he was one of the platinum category player for Karachi. Now he's nowhere to be seen. So he needs to really think about that. Same with Musa Khan, same. But the biggest thing what I wanted Peshawar Zalmi to get him retained was Arshad Iqbal, because he was one of your fast bowlers who was in the playing, I would say, in the playing future playing of Pakistan, because he's the guy who has been consistently performing well. But unfortunate, I would say this guy's have been. Sharjeel Khan was not picked up, but it's a good squad, good combination to go on. But don't ask me which team will be the best one.
No, you have to pick a team. You know the customs and the culture at Sports Extra. And you know what King Shirazi can do to you if you're not following them. You better pick a team.
King Shirazi told me don't pick a team.
no, he's gonna tell you. I'm pretty sure that you're gonna go with Multan Sultans, but still, I think just for the sake of the fans.
See, I mean, it's an interesting one to watch on, but looking at the squad, I would say Multan, obviously, it's one of the champions team, but the thing, what of the experiments, what they have done, I would say it would obviously, the squad has been disturbed. Riley Rousseau was one of your main contender. He's travelled to Quetta Gladiators. Then if you feel about the other players, I mean, specifically if you just see Riley Rousseau, what he used to produce for Multan Sultan, it would obviously hurt them, I would say. I know it's a good squad, but looking at the whole Pakistan Super League, Multan, for me, Quetta Gladiators looks a balanced squad now. They have got some power hitting in the opening department. Down the order, if you go on, they have got Iftikhar, they got Riley Rousseau in it, they have got Umair bin Yusuf. So it looks a formidable, strong batting lineup with good bowling lineup over here. Mohammad Amir being included. So I hope Karachi, in Urdu I would say kab dhadega mujhe nahi pata, lekin Quetta Gladiators really will give a tough
Well,
time.
they've got rid of a lot of baggage, Karachi, so I'll give them that. But Rizwan, overall the drafting process, some of the squads that you've been eyeing, how do you see the overall process?
I think for me it's always been Lahore, but I agree. Quetta has gotten very, very strong, and they've gotten rid of a lot of baggage as well. So has Karachi. I think it's a good thing that I love the way youngsters get picked in. But I was surprised that Shamail Hassan and Saad Beg got picked in the supplementary category rather than they should have been in the emerging category, because then you get a better chance of playing. However, I'm surprised at Islamabad picking the three Shah brothers, Naseem Shah brothers. So it's like you're going to get two of them anyway, and with Naseem Shah being injured, you haven't got any batting youngster coming in. So I'd always have one batsman as an emerging player and one bowler. Lahore's my favorite, but I think Quetta, yes, is going to be a very, very strong.
And I think Shane Watson as a head coach is going to make a difference.
Definitely makes a difference.
Absolutely. Yes, Malik Usman, if we talk about all the sides, and like I said, that particularly some of the sides are getting rid of some of players that they considered baggage. They're bringing in some new combinations overall, and of course we do talk about that Quetta is looking like a different unit this time.
Yeah, welcome back, Quetta Gladiators. I think after the first 4 seasons, they were just lost, and they wanted the throne of finishing 5th or 6th to be with them. But this time they have reshuffled and they have brought in some really good players. I think Muhammad Amir is a good choice. And with Sarfraz at the helm of affairs and having Jason Roy, Will Smith, they were retained. And now having Riley Rousseau, he's one of my most favorite players in PSL, and he made a name for himself in PSL as well. And he was the heartbeat of Quetta Gladiators when they were having a good honeymoon in PSL. And once he's back, I think they are going to have those rosy days back. But I think overall, Lahore Qalandars, they had fabulous retained players as well. And Islamabad had very good retained players as well. But I think one thing I would like to talk especially about Islamabad United is I love their brand of cricket, the way they play T20 cricket in PSL. I think it's all out attack.
Please clear the viewers. I mean, you're in Quetta Gladiators, Islamabad United.
Islamabad United.
Usman,
I'm only talking good about Quetta
Usman
Gladiators.
has got the courage to pick a team of West. You don't, so you don't get to say that.
You don't have the right to.
I don't have a right to basically pick a team because I'll be questioned back.
That is true. I think Islamabad United, if I have to pick a team on paper, it seems Islamabad United because the way they play their cricket and they have all the big bashes. My colleague was talking about the pace attack and the bowling weakness that Islamabad United has. I completely agree with him, with Naseem Shah and having Imad Wasim and Shadab. They have two spinners, one good fast bowler, and then we have to search for another good pace bowler in the team.
Fit
They don't have
all-rounder in there.
They don't have much, but they have a fabulous batting lineup. Just look at their platinum and diamond category and gold category. They can give a run for the money to
Well,
any
for
other
me, it's
franchise.
all about Azam Khan. I'm being honest, for Islamabad United.
He's the rock star.
Yeah, superstar Azam. And Azam even took it to the media saying that, you know, if Naseem Shah's got any more brothers, tell us now and we'll be able to pick them as well in the future.
Yesterday.
So that also happened. Sir, either your final thoughts on the PSL squads, and I'm sure you're also going to tell us the team that you're going to be supporting after seeing all of the squads.
I think, Ahmed, this year all the 6 teams, they are looking balanced. Quetta Gladiators, they have got Relieros, so they have one good hard hitter in the team. Last year they were missing, and the bowling is also in good position when Amir has joined the Quetta Gladiators. But I think all 6 teams, they have some flaws also in the batting or bowling. Someone they are missing or someone they have added extra. But we have to see how they will play and how they will manage their innings in the bowling and batting. This is important thing that if you have all the superstars in team, but if they cannot perform on the day, then they are really useless. I think what can I say that Islamabad United is looking a young players team, and I expect that they will do something more better than the last year, and they are having good hitters, good bowling spinners, fast bowlers. So Islamabad United have something better than other teams.
Absolutely. Sir Haider, thank you very much for joining us. Malik Usman, Rizwan Haider and Sayyid Awais, thank you very much for joining us as well.
Which is your team?
Of course, Lahore Qalandars. I had picked it a while back, and I think... No. I said it 2 weeks ago. I have it on record. Don't worry. No, not at all. Not at all. I said the player to watch out for Islamabad is Azam Khan. You know, your 360...
Which I think is a weakness for
It
Islamabad.
might be, if there's dependency.
That is
but
true.
Yes, I understand. You know, Awais and 360, he tries a lot of things. But you know...
But he
we're
has
still-
Multan on his side.
So he's not picked one, so he's got the benefit of the
He
doubt.
picked everything yesterday.
But that being said, I want to send out congratulations especially to Lahore Qalandars, because there are 3 picks that I'll just mention quickly. Rasi van der Dusen, for me, pick of the PSL. Vahindu Hasaranga to Quetta Gladiators is another pick to watch out for. And especially Jandad Khan. And a lot of people have been asking me why I'm particularly focused on him. As a bowler, left-arm fast bowler, as a batter with the ability to hit sixes, trust me, he's going to be one of the best emerging players for PSL. So congratulations to Jandad, his family, Stars ICCA, where he's been involved, including Mr. Mubin Shahid, his coach and mentor as well. I think fantastic day for them, the way they followed his career, got him into the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, debuted for Rawalpindi taking 4 wickets, then performed well in the National T20 and then made his way to the PSL. I think this is the process and journey that needs to be followed. So congratulations to you, Jandad, and your team. That being said, Lahore Qalandars definitely has got instinct in them to win another trophy, and I'm sure that's going to be the case, but we'll be telling you a lot of these people picking their teams and getting all the competitive edge as well. That wraps it up for me and the entire team. It's goodbye for now.